Trev Alberts said at the podium on Monday that Nebraska talked to 13 different coaches, including Matt Rule, who was 1A on their list. They hire Matt Rule. So we did an exercise. We said, who do we believe the other 12 coaches are that were contacted by Trev Alberts?
He explicitly had interactions with 13 head coaches, and the way I heard it was those were the prospects. I bet he talked to others that weren't prospects. And I know, and then I heard from I'll say source, that he said that number during the course of their discussion was 14.
Okay.
So whatever, 13. He told us 13, so we'll go with 13. And but it did jibe with what the source said that, he mentioned, the source said he mentioned to me that he talked to 14 candidates. Okay. So,
well, I have an idea who 14 might be then. So we talked before the show, the 13, and we argued about 14. Well, we kept 14 off the list.
Hold on. We'll set it up this way.
Okay, here's who we discussed. We believe are the top. We had 7 that were for sure.
No, I'd say 9 for sure.
We have 9 that we discussed that are for sure 10, among the 13.
10 that I feel that 9, I'd say for sure. The 10th, I'm pretty sure. And then the final 3 I think we're pretty foggy on.
10 plus 14.
Yeah, I was just going to stick with 13.
Well, we'll talk about 14.
Okay. So the 9 we're sure about.
We both agreed on these names.
Rule, Matt.
Obviously hired.
Rule, Matt
Rule.
Leipold, Lance.
Why are we going last name, first name?
Because I wrote down the last name.
Okay, I'll Lance Leipold.
Lance Leipold. Doran.
Dave Doran, right. NC State.
Fickle.
Luke Fickle, now at Wisconsin.
Okay, that's 4.
Yep.
Those 4 we feel really good
Very
about.
confident that those were on the list.
4, the top 3 there, Rule, Leipold, Doran, is one of my best sources, said for sure those guys. Fickle, the Athletic, reported that Nebraska had contact with Fickle. So we are positive about 4.
That's 4.
We are positive about Bronco Mendenhall.
Okay.
5. Positive.
Unemployed,
positive.
Bronco Mendenhall.
We are positive about Mark Stoops. 6.
Yep. Kentucky.
We are positive about Mickey Joseph.
Sure.
Trev told us the other day in the side chat that Mickey laid out his vision for him.
That's 7.
Campbell.
Matt Campbell, Iowa State.
No doubter.
Yep.
Okay, those are no doubters.
So that's 8. Now we have one more no doubter.
I think Kleiman's a no doubter. Yeah, Kleiman's a no doubter. 9.
Okay,
Can you say the words, I think Kleiman's a no doubter?
For this exercise, yes.
Okay.
We're going to.
Yeah, I'd put him in the no doubter list. So there's 9. Rule, Leipold, Doran, Fickle, Kleiman, Mendenhall, Stoops, Mickey, Matt Campbell. Now the 10th, as reported by Football Scoop, would be Gary Patterson. I'm just slightly less confident that he's one of them, but Football Scoop is pretty reputable.
I feel like we could put one more that I'm pretty confident that they talked to.
Who?
Kalen DeBoer.
Okay.
I mean, I think it was a pretty interesting thing, Sip, that the same day that Mark Stoops gets an extension, that Kalen DeBoer too.
I wasn't the same day. It was like one day after.
Okay, the same time frame where maybe they've been informed possibly that Nebraska has moved on with Matt Rule. But, we heard from Trev Alberts, Matt Rule is officially signed on Thanksgiving morning at 11 a.m. Matt Rule says maybe it was Friday. He's not sure when it was signed. But Trev said Thanksgiving morning. But it appeared at that point maybe they had moved on from Stoops and DeBoer. They signed their extensions. And so does Lance Leipold at Kansas.
Yeah. So that's 11 we feel good about.
And then we have not mentioned Jeff Monken yet.
Oh,
did we?
We feel good about we feel good about 12.
Yep.
Man. Then it's that 13 that we're like Bielema is in that conversation.
Yeah, did Trev talk to Brett Bielema? That's the question. Now I would say the reason I said that I think the 14th is up for the air. Was there 14 actually out there? That's where I bring up Urban Meyer. Was Urban Meyer actually ever talked to? That's where I would say if you want to argue for a 14th candidate, that's be the one you say, was there actually a conversation with Urban?
Well, was there a conversation about Urban? You could go to Urban and say, what do you think about the coaching landscape? Who would you look at? Or would you, when I say interactions with coaches, I'm saying interactions with coaches about coaching at Nebraska, not just interactions of Trev trying to get ideas or get background or anything like that? Did he go to Urban with the intention of trying to lure him to Nebraska? That'd be the question. See, I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
I do. I skipped 12. So I skipped 13, went 12 to 14. I think 13 would be Dave Aranda at Baylor, right? We didn't put him on the list.
No, we didn't. I think that's it.
I think that's the list. Now, there's a guy we had talked about that we did not put on the list that I think had picked up some steam. I'm not sure if Trev talked to him, but Jamie Chadwell at Coastal Carolina is one that you think might have been considered. Was he actually talked to by Trev Alberts? That is the question. Or maybe he would be 14 and Urban was never talked to. That would be possibly where you stand in that.
What about Brett Bielema?
I've never heard. That's why we put him low on the list in terms of our confidence level of conversation.
I will tell you this. I never, ever heard any from my sources. And there's, I'd say 3 central sources. Never did anyone tell me that they talked to Bielema. Never. Never did anybody tell me they talked to Urban. Never did anybody tell me he talked to Chadwell. Now, Aranda, yes, I think I'm
got to be on the list. Got to be there.
I'm pretty sure on Aranda. Monken was a football scoop report, so I buy it. DeBoer we addressed.
Did we say Gary Patterson? I think
yes.
we said, right? Yeah, we said Gary Patterson. Yep.
I think we have a pretty solid 13.
We got people asking, do you think they actually did ever talk to Deion Sanders or not?
Ooh. Good question.
We might have to revise. Again, this was impromptu before the show, but we felt pretty good about this.
No, I still feel good about it. I still feel good about it.
Here's 4 more names.
Don't be a weenie.
Okay, well, figure out. I'm not. Right. Troy Calhoun.
No.
Think you've talked to?
Nope.
Bill O'Brien.
Oh, God.
Lane Kiffin.
Oh, God.
Do you think you talked to those guys?
Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, 14's O'Brien. I don't
know the list.
I don't believe Kiffin. I never ever thought there was any steam there, except just in my brain.
And someone asked, I do not believe that he talked to Dan Mullen either. I don't.
I do not.
Yeah, I don't think Dan Mullen was
I do not
for this job.
I do not. I think we have 14. So let's go with the 14. All right, we're gonna do it again. Rule. I mean, I'm gonna say the 9 that we feel great about.
Okay.
Rule, Leipold, Doran, Fickle in that order. Okay. Kleiman. That's 5. Mendenhall 6. I know he talked to Mendenhall. What I heard from a good source was that Mendenhall was talked to as a favor to a booster.
Okay.
Rule, Leipold, Doran, Fickle, Kleiman, Mendenhall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For sure. Stoops 7 for sure. Mickey 8 for sure. Campbell 9 for sure. There's 9 no-brainers on
there. Then the next 4 or 5 is where there's several candidates out there that we added to.
Gary Patterson was a football scoop report. I trust football scoop. 10. 11, Kalen DeBoer. 12, Monken, football scoop report. Trust. Aranda. I mean, I never had anybody directly tell me that Nebraska reached out, but I did have someone tell me he's not leaving. He's not leaving. Now, he did get involved at Wisconsin. They interviewed him,
which I'm not surprised by.
Well, he had been.
He has been there before.
He's 13 on our list. 14 is O'Brien. Then the wild cards are Chadwell, Urban, Bielema, Deion Sanders, and Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
Was there a conversation there? We don't know.
I doubt
we don't feel good about them being in the 14.
Strongly doubt that there was a conversation with Lane Kiffin. By the way, I heard there was serious smoke with Lane and Auburn.
Oh, I'm sure there was. I mean, and yesterday they say that all along Hugh Freeze was the top target, because of course they're going to say that, but I'm sure that their top target was indeed Lane Kiffin, and he turned him down and stayed at Ole Miss.
So Deion, don't know. Yeah, there you go. There's a fun exercise.
There's a list. Anybody disagree with us?
Yeah, is anybody? Yeah.
Is there a name that we did not say that you believe that was contacted or was someone that Nebraska was interested in? We got someone saying PJ Fleck on the text line.
I don't think so. 402-464-5685. Is there a name we missed? Fleck? No, I don't think so.
Is there anybody in Nebraska's conference? We mentioned Brett Bielema and PJ Fleck. Anybody else in the Big Ten Conference that Nebraska may have pursued? Pat Fitzgerald, possibly?
No. My God.
I'm just asking. So I was just putting a name out there.
Yeah, that would be easy to
I
sell.
was just putting a name out there. The only two that we ever came up with that made sense.
Let's get a guy that won one game
to contact were PJ Fleck and Brett Bielema.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting anybody from of the top three in the East. You're not getting, or Michigan State, not getting Tucker, not getting Schiano.
I'm still recovering from you mentioned Fitzgerald.
He
won one game this year.
He's won the division twice in the last 5 years. It's been a rough last 2 years for Pat Fitzgerald. Yeah. No, I just had to mention the name. Just had to. But more likely that if there was anybody in the Big Ten, it was Fleck and Bielema that were mentioned.
I guess.
Not Jeff Brom. I don't think Chris Peterson got called.
I don't think so.
Chris Peterson.
No.
Yes, Leroy. We said Mark Stoops. He was part of the 9. They were obviously targeted.
We had
contact.
I feel really good about 9. Really good.
We have a lot of people that believe that Troy Calhoun was on the list. At Air Force.
Okay. I'm open-minded to that. I'm open-minded.
You agree with that's potential? That's possible.
Potential, but I never heard it.
So put him on the Dion list.
The wild card.
The wild card area. I don't think he was for sure contacted, but it'll be in the wild card. Fine. We will please you and put you on the wild card list. Texas.
Troy Calhoun.
Last one. Kyle Whittingham. Think he was contacted? Wild card?
I don't.
Okay. Not even contacted.
Okay. I don't even put him in the wild card category. I'm going to put him in the wild card category.
You just changed your mind.
What's his first name?
Kyle Whittingham is his name.
Yeah, I can jack up his name with the best of them. I'll sometimes call him Ty Willingham.
Like Tyrone Willingham,
the
former Stanford and Notre Dame head coach, or Washington head coach. Was he Washington too? He
bounced
around.
One problem we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wild cards.
Yeah, well, that's fine. We don't know if they were contacted or not.
Okay.
We have the ones we feel good about, the ones we kind of feel good about, and the ones we don't.
I just feel really good about those 9.
Beyond that, it's crapshoot on our behalf.
That was fun.
That was fun. Thank you for that.
Yeah.